Sagittarius, what's up, y'all? How y'all doing? What is good with you? Time for your November 2025 main monthly reading. November 2025 for Sagittarius. That doesn't even sound right, dude. Of all the November readings that I've already done, that still doesn't sound right saying that, you know? Anyway, though, if any of you are in need of a personal reading, if you want, you can just go straight to my website, tarotwithrich.com. I have a link down here in the description. Most people prefer my general personal readings. Very inexpensive and budget friendly and cost effective, but they're quick, easy, and efficient. You ain't got to ask me nothing. You ain't got to tell me nothing. If you don't want to, you can. But all you really got to do is click what you want me to read and let me do the rest. But I do offer a lot more than that. And you can read up on everything else I have to offer on my website. Link is in the description. All right, let's see how it's looking. Gonna start this off with the person that you're interested in. Single Saggies in their love interest. How's it looking in November? Man, Ten of Swords reversed. Oh, but the Tower card. What is that? Two of Wands. That don't make no sense. That don't make no damn sense. It almost kind of feels like something's happening that's not good with the Tower. But you're still not wanting to give up on it. Could be somebody else in the picture. Oh, yeah. Is that what's going on here? Somebody else in the picture, all up in the mix. Seven of Cups, Three of Cups. But you still ain't trying to give up on this, are you? Man, King of Wands reversed, though. Man, Knight of Wands. Well, okay. Doesn't look like you're giving up. Some of you dealing with a Pisces. I also have Cancer. I have Aquarius here and Virgo. Could be anybody. Those are just energies, but damn. I want to see what's going on here. Let me see their truest, deepest feelings, energies, and intentions. I'm curious. What the hell going on here? What the hell going on here? Magician. Death reversed. Oh, is that a past person? Ah, Five of Pentacles reversed. That always comes through, man. Like fucking clockwork. Tower reversed. Anytime I read either a new connection or a potential new connection, past energy comes through. And when I say most of the time, I don't mean 50, 60% of the time. I'm talking 98, 99% of the time. When I read your love interest or the new person, past energy comes up. There's so many people out there dragging past energy into new relationships that is completely unprocessed, unhealed, unfinished business, you know? I just don't think they're over their ex, man. I don't. Or maybe for some of you, it's their ex trying to come back, but this is their energy. Five of Pentacles, Death card, and Tower card reverse. There's no way to steer around that. That's past energy. That's past energy all day. But it also kind of looks like they're trying to keep part of their past a secret, too. You know? Like, you may know a little bit about a little bit, but I mean, I think this person keeps a lot of secrets. There's a whole lot that you don't know. about this person, their life, their situation, whatever the case may be. And they're refusing to ignore they're refusing to look at the truth about the situation here. So, man, well, what do you do in that situation? What do you do? Especially if it's like a baby mama, baby daddy. People actually let like the parent of their child like call shots in their life. It's like, nah, fuck that. The way I see it, I don't know. I'm a patient person. Real patient. Like, oh, you really want to try to use the kids to leverage against me? I remember I told my kid's mom this one time, years ago. I said, okay, you go ahead and have fun with that. You know what? They're going to grow up one day. They're going to grow up one day. You can sit on your little high horse all you want. They're going to grow up and they're going to see the truth. They'll see it. And that day came a lot sooner than I thought it would. But, either way, regardless of what kind of situation this is, there's just a lot of past energy in here. And that's one excuse that I can't fucking stand. I don't know about you. Oh, my ex won't leave me alone. Oh, go on somewhere with that bullshit. You put your fucking foot down and tell him to leave you alone, That just tells me if you can't do that, you must not be fucking done with him. If you can't put your foot down and say fuck the fuck off, maybe you're not done with him, All right, well, let's get the advice. Emperor reversed. Well, Five of Wands reversed. Don't fight to keep anyone in your life. You shouldn't have to. Now, you know me. I do the best I can to not tell you what and what not to do. I try, depending on the nature of the situation. But I'll tell you this. When you meet your person, you ain't going to have to fight for that person. No. You ain't going to have to fight to keep them in your life. Work on it? Yes. Oh, 100%. All day, every day. But fight for your person? That ain't going to happen. That ain't going to happen. Not with your divine life partner. A karmic life partner? Okay, if that's what you want to do. Which, by the way, you're creating karma here in this situation. I think this is creating karma that was never there to begin with. Only thing I can say in a situation like this is don't let them show you who they are too many times before you accept that that's who they are. Try not to do that. Because it doesn't take long to figure out whether or not a person is going to change. It doesn't take long. If a person's really going to change, you'll see that pretty early on. Pretty early on. But once you let a person repeat the same cycle 3 or 4 times, it's over. It's over. They're going to have no incentive to change. You know why? Because you're teaching them that they don't have to. All right, gear shifting time now. Enough of that. Actually, let me clear the air a little bit after that. That was kind of heavy. Let's clear the air. I didn't really expect that to be that heavy. All right. Now, we're going to look at the current long-term relationship. If you're not in a long-term relationship, this is not for you. If you are in a long-term relationship, but the two of you are not experiencing any problems, this is not for you. How are things looking between Sagittarius and the current long-term partner? How's it looking? Page of Cups reversed. Some of you dealing with a water sign. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, Hangman. Y'all are stuck at one level. Y'all are not leveling up together. And that's the only cup card I even have on the table. Page of Cups reversed. So this feels like a very, very dry, empty, hollow connection. And the Devil card's coming out here. Some of y'all are dealing with a situation where there's addiction issues, potentially. Ooh, got that Tower card, too, though. So this kind of feels like it's hanging on by a thread. I don't really think a solid decision is being made one way or the other as to whether or not you're going to stay or go. Just kind of hanging out and waiting. Just hanging out and waiting. That's really all you can say about that. Hangman, Two of Swords, Two of Wands, hanging out, waiting. This is hanging on by a thread, though, dude. Hanging on by a thread. A lot of tension. And it doesn't seem like this person cares. Doesn't seem like it. So, some of you dealing with a Capricorn. All right, well, let's see how they feel about you then. How do they really feel about you? What are their true intentions? How's this person really feel about Sagittarius? What are their true intentions? Maybe you intimidate them. Hang on a second. I don't know if I... Hang on, let me see. Well, honestly, I think they don't want to walk away from this. I do think they have more feelings for you than you know. But they feel like you're very stuck in your ways. You know? I don't know how to word that. They feel like you're just stuck in your ways. I don't know any other way to word that. With the Queen of Wands, Six of Wands reversed. So I think they're not really detached. How do you word that? I don't even know how to put words to that, where it's like, I have feelings for you, I love you, but there's no point. You're just you, and there's no point in trying to work with you. There's no point in trying to talk to you. Now, I'm not saying that this is true. I'm just saying that's the way this person sees it, you know? So they have more feelings than you know, but maybe they are trying to detach themselves from it because they feel like this is going nowhere. All right. Some of you dealing with a Taurus also have Cancer, Cancer again, Virgo, Libra. Could be anybody. Those are just energies. All right. Well, I'm not seeing an ending happening. Not really. It looks like things are still dangling in the ether of eternity. So let's grab some advice. What's the advice for Sagittarius? This is my least favorite part of my whole job, dude. Advice for the long-term relationship. What's the advice? Ooh, Ace of Wands. Ooh, this is saying it would not be a good idea to stand around and wait. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, standing around and waiting. So at the end of the day, there isn't really, in the grand scheme of things, retrospectively, there's no such thing as a plateau. Nothing rests. We live in a dimension of linear time that's always passing. Nothing rests. So things are either getting better or they're getting worse. And there is no in between. Not in the grand scheme of the big picture. It's either getting better or it's getting worse. And if the work and effort is not being put forth to make things get better, it's getting worse by default. That's one of the many, many rules of this damn game that suck. So, if you sit around and wait, eventually at some point the universe is going to kick the tower over on this. I don't know if this will survive to see 2030 if you just stand around and wait. So I'm not saying leave, but I'm also not saying wait and see what happens. A solid decision needs to be made one way or the other. Either I'm out or I'm not going nowhere. Man, this is going to be the third time I've gave this advice. Maybe this should be one of my talking points, because I'm going to tell you what I told Scorpio and Libra. If you're in one of those relationships where no matter what you do, it's a fight, there's nothing you can do with that but walk away. You know what I'm talking about? No matter what you say, it gets turned into a fight. No matter what you do, it gets turned into a fight. No matter how you try to come at them, it turns into a fight. If you try to stick to yourself, it turns into a fight. You know, when they're complaining about this, so you do what you try to fix it and do it the way they want you to, then they fight about that. No matter what you do, they twist it, turn it, spin it, flip it upside down, inside out, and all the way around to cram it into their little box so they can fight with you. There's nothing you can do with that. I don't know who needs to hear this. Nothing you can do about that. You're gonna fight until death does you part. So I guess the question would be, do you want to spend your life like that? All you can do is walk away from that. And I'll tell you the reason why. Because that has nothing to do with you. It's not you. They're fighting a battle in their own head. That's the reason why. So that's all you can do. But if you're not dealing with that specific dynamic, if you do want to stay, just step back and consciously put forth the intention to the universe that, fuck it, it is what it is, I'm just going to deal with it. I don't know, here near the end of the year, it seems like everybody's getting the same advice. Well, this last quarter of the year is where we're all being put through situations in different areas and aspects of life that are preparing us to either evolve to the next level or repeat. Is 2026 going to be a new path, or is it just going to be another 2025? That starts around Halloween, not New Year's Eve. The last quarter of the year is when pretty much everything, you know, depending on what area of your life needs improvement, that's when all the open doors of opportunity start making themselves available. That's when it's time to start making decisions. So if you got some dead ass weight you've been carrying and you decide to carry it into 2026, okay, you're going to have another 2025. So, okay. All right. Damn, your all's energy's a little bit heavy tonight, dude. That's not normal. Of course, I know we're going into Mercury pre-shadow, but that's not normal. Usually, I love the Sagittarius readings because your all's readings typically, most of the time, are more lighthearted and positive than any of the other signs for some reason. It just seems to be like that about 90% of the time. I don't know, y'all's energy feels a little bit heavy tonight, though, boy. What is going on? All right. Let's just see how the energy is looking in general for the singles. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to break out my Christmas deck. I haven't used this publicly yet. This is so cool. So y'all know, those of you who have been with me for a while, you know that I like to get cards for the holidays, right? So like I got my Halloween tarot and my Sleepy Hollow tarot. I love this one. And then a couple of years ago, I got this Christmas deck. And it was so hard to find a Christmas deck. You know me. If you pay attention to what I do, I prefer Rider-Waite or Rider-Waite based tarot cards. I don't really like to stray too far away from Rider-Waite. There's a couple of decks, and this one here strays way away from Rider-Waite. But the Christmas imagery is just so fucking awesome, dude. Like, that's the Eight of Swords. You see what I'm saying? And any other occasion, there's no way in hell I would read with this. But I just love the Christmas imagery. See that tower? And let me find a good one. Oh, yeah, look at that. The Hierophant. The Christmas imagery is just so badass in this that I was like, all right, fuck it. I'll use this one if it's just for the Christmas season. But then, here a few weeks ago, I stumbled across, somebody took the Rider-Waite and made it Christmassy. The Judgment. Look at that. See the Hangman? Look at the Devil, dude. Isn't that badass? The Empress. Wheel of Fortune. I love it, man. Anyway, let's go ahead and break this out. Let's see how the energy's looking for the singles. How's the energy looking for the single Saggies? Anything good coming in? Anything coming in at all? Oh, Knight of Cups. It definitely looks like something's coming in, though. 3 shuffles. 1, 2, and 3. Eight of Swords. Oh, shit. Damn, dog. King of Cups reversed. Damn, dog. Well, yeah, I'm seeing something coming in here, but it doesn't look very... Now, I feel like this is triggering your defenses. Something makes you feel uneasy about this, but it's kind of telling me you might be missing a lot of red flags. That's weird. That doesn't make sense. Page of Cups, Knight of Cups, definitely a love offer coming in 100%. But King of Cups reversed, 7 of Swords, and Magician reversed. Doesn't look like something very solid. Look at this star card. I know it's in mirror image. It says he's got an ugly Christmas sweater on. It says Santa on it. Anyway, yeah, this doesn't look very solid. This don't look very good. I'm not gonna lie. So maybe it's a test for some of you. I don't have the card for that here, but it's kind of what it feels like energetically. This is telling me that a lot of you might be ready to just jump head first into this willy-nilly. And those of you who do that will end up repeating a past cycle. Damn, dog. Well, let me dig this person's energy up a little bit deeper, I guess. Let's dig up their energy a little bit deeper, see what's really going on here. Two of Cups, 2 of Wands. Ah, okay. All right. Well, so you know what this? Yeah, there's 7 of Swords again. So So I think this is a pretty twisted individual. I'm not gonna lie. This feels like somebody that wants to find a divine life partner and settle down. But the problem is they thought somebody from the past was their divine life partner. And now they just want to get into a relationship with anybody that they possibly can. They don't really feel like they have a lot of options. So if you're the first person that shows them attention, boom, they're on it, you know? Boom, they on it. But if something better came along, they'd probably ghost you for that. Classic codependency energy. I have a lonely, broken, empty void that's in my heart. I feel empty, lonely, and incomplete, and I need a lover or a love relationship or a sex partner to fill the void in my heart, make my loneliness go away, make me feel better about myself, and make me feel happy, whole, fulfilled, and complete, right? So what that means is I'm not connecting with you for the actual connection. I'm only connecting with who makes me feel good. So if I meet somebody tomorrow that makes me feel better than you do, I'm leaving you for them. And then if I meet somebody after that, and see, the problem though is that feeling that what they're doing is they're using you like a drug is what they're doing. When you feel that explosive, intoxicating feeling when you first meet someone new, that feeling's temporary. That ain't gonna last long. That feeling gonna wear off. And then if you're using a relationship just so that feeling will distract you from heartbreak, it's not gonna take long before that feeling wears off, and then this heartbreak bubbles back up to the surface again, and you gotta go find somebody else to do it. So this is a very confused, lost, broken, twisted individual. They got their heart broke bad in the past. Bad, 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 bad. And I think they're just wanting to jump into a relationship as quick as possible just for validation. They just want validation to feel better about themselves, if that makes sense. And when you're walking in that energy, you ain't forming a real connection with nobody. When it's all about you and your validation and the empty, broken void in your heart and trying to distract yourself from that, you ain't connected with nobody. No, you ain't. You ain't got time to. You're trying to distract yourself from fucking shit you need to be working on. But, hey, sometimes you gotta go through that shit. I guess let's get the advice. Let's get the advice. What's the advice?